All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of the mini workshop, the Money Sense mini workshop. And thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate you. And for those of you who are watching online, thank you as well for being a part of the community. If you find what we share here useful, please do subscribe to the channel because I promise you that you're going to get a whole lot more value here. All right, so today we are looking at something very crucial, especially for you guys who are young and aspiring. Okay, I want to share with you why smart people die broke and broken. And this is very it's personal to me. Okay, and it's really something I would love to pass on to everyone. So the premise of this conversation came, some weeks back when I traveled back to my university, right? And I saw some of my professors, very hardworking people, very intelligent people, honest people, people who are helping to mold and shape the lives of human beings. They helped to mold my life. I mean, the very good ones. But something was very prominent, right? Which I saw, and that is the fact that these people were working extremely hard, they were aging so fast, and stress was written all over their faces. And I started to think what exactly could be going on. Then I remembered, even when we were in school, back in the days, some of these lecturers, the good ones, they were in high demand. Of course, they were intelligent, they were, highly sought after. So they were teaching in private universities, they were also teaching in public universities. First, their primary place of employment is public universities. But to be able to meet up, to be able to make more money and be able to foot their bills, right? They have to take private universities. And in private universities, they don't just take one, they take multiple schools. So you find out that probably one lecturer is lecturing in about 4 or 5 schools, running from one corner of the state to another corner of the state, trying to, deliver lectures. Sometimes these people, when I was in school, these people sometimes will start teaching by 8 in the morning, and as at 9 at night, they are still teaching. Right. And apart from the universities, they're also teaching in professional institutes. They are teaching Institute of Bankers, CIBN, all those other places, ICANN, and all of those other places. There is no way this person can survive like this. But this is how they are living. And when you really sit them down, like I did one of them to really have a one-on-one talk with them, you find out that these people are just stuck. They are stuck in a place where they are doing their honest best. They don't know what else to do, and they cannot afford to slow down because now they have kids. They have kids who are in higher institution. The bills are mounting. They have family responsibilities that are not going to slow down anytime soon. And that brings us to two things that you need to be aware of. What I refer to as illusion of time, right? An illusion of intelligence. Illusion of intelligence. This has kept so many people down. And it's very crucial that you understand this so that you'll be able to know how to avoid them. Now, the illusion of time is that point where you feel you have time, right? You feel that, there's still time. I'm just 25 years old. 25, it will take me another 25 years to be 50. And of course, that's a lot of time. In fact, you can't wrap your mind around it. 25 more years. But here is what you don't know. What you don't know is that time is an illusion. Time is real, and at the same time, is an illusion. You just keep waking up, sleeping, waking up, sleeping, waking up, and you sleep and wake up someday, and you're 50 years old. You're here now. If you can cast your mind back, you will remember what happened to you 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you were just 15 years old. You can remember where I can remember clearly things that happened to me 20, 25 years ago, right? And that's because of the illusion effect of time. So one thing you should never do is to assume that you have time, to assume that, let's just be doing it. There's time, there's still more time. You're going to be broken. You're going to be broken by time because time is going to work against you instead of working in your favor. And that is something that you don't want to do. You don't want to be in a position where time works against you. The second one is illusion of intelligence. Illusion of intelligence is where smart people believe that their intelligence is enough to help them find their way in life. And one of the things you will realize is that the people who are very cerebral, the professors, the highly academically inclined, are usually not the richest. They are usually not the ones with the most money. They are usually not the ones with the wealthiest ones. Why? There's a lot of reasons to that, which I'm not going to explain now. But one of the things you have to understand is that they confuse intelligence with ability to have. And that is why sometimes you talk with all these intelligent people, all these professors and all that, they're angry. They believe that the people that have money are not smart, they are not intelligent. They, the intelligent ones who have committed all their lives to development of knowledge, don't have as much as these people. Illusion of intelligence will make you believe that because of the fact that you're smart, because of the fact that you know, because of the fact that you figure your way out through things, that because of that you're going to be rich, you're going to have money. But that is not how life works. The people who have money usually are not as intelligent as you guys. You're not usually as intelligent. That affected me a lot. And I had to come to realize that I have to pipe low on my intelligence. I have to pipe low on my, what I refer to as book smart. Because being book smart does not mean life smart. It does not mean street smart. It does not mean money smart. And when you're too smart, when you're too intelligent, you tend to over rationalize things. That's one of the reasons why intelligent people don't really make money. You tend to over rationalize things. When they give you opportunities, you won't follow your gut. You will need to rationalize it, use all the data, use all the empiricals. Before you're done with all of that, the opportunity has moved on, or you're too late into the whole stuff. But the people who get things are people who are able to follow their guts. They train their guts and their intuition, and they also are at peace with losing, looking foolish, looking unintelligent. Because the intelligent ones don't want to look unintelligent. They don't want to look foolish. That's why they are rationalizing. They just want to make sure that they are correct. But the people who move and get things done are people who really, they don't mind if they are wrong, and they don't mind being wrong multiple times. They don't mind looking foolish to people. They don't mind people laughing at them. They are okay with people calling them dull, so long as they try and try again and try again. And because of that, they get to try a couple of things, and in the process, they see the ones that work. But beyond seeing the one that works, they see a pattern that things follow, which guides their choices in the future. So why this one is on the corner, by the corner, rationalizing and thinking that, oh, how am I going to get it right? This one has failed multiple times and has moved on. They have tried their hands on multiple things, failed, learned their lessons, and moved on. This is illusion of intelligence. So don't fall into that trap. Believing because of the fact that you are cerebral, because you graduated with the first class. I think you made the first class in school, right? Fine. So because you believe you made the first class in economics, that simply means you understand economics. The economics that makes money is not the Y, the X. The economics that makes money is the simple economics you're taught in secondary school. That's the economics that makes money. The maths that you need to make money is not calculus. What you need is just simple 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 1 times 2, and all of those simple maths. Right? The English you need to be able to negotiate a deal, to be able to close deals, is not Queen's English. You just need to be able to be persuasive. You just need to be able to know what you're saying. That is why you see someone who has bad English with a lot of money, but you with Queen's English don't have anything. Right? Then the third one is illusion of strength. Very dangerous one. The illusion of strength. Oh my goodness. The illusion of strength is dangerous. And it captures the young minds. Right? It captures the young minds. The young minds, you believe that you are strong. You can work for days. You can go 2 days, 3 days, you're not sleeping. And because of that, you believe that somehow you fall into the illusion of thinking that this is how strong you're going to be for the rest of your life. But unfortunately, you can't be this strong. You cannot. Humans were not designed to be this strong all their lives. And of course, we have a lot of things going on, even working against human survival and human health. And because of that, you find out that the hoops you used to jump when you were 20, you can't easily jump them when you're 45, 50. And especially with those people who don't even have any, workout routine. You don't work out, you sit all day, you eat junks and all of that. Your life is messed up. You're losing strength as you're aging. Bring a kid of 5 and bring you of 50 and put 2 of you on a running track, and you will see how a kid of 5 will mess you up. Right? Bring a kid of 15 and bring someone of 40 and put them to task. You will see that the energy of the 15-year-old is bursting, but yours is not as much. And that's why I tell people that as you're aging, you need to take your health seriously. Young people can afford to coast. They have the privilege of, biology on their side. But you, as you're aging, you need to be very careful of the things you eat, when you eat, how you eat. You need to make sure that you're mobile, you move a lot on a daily basis. Don't sit all day. You need to make sure that you exercise and make sure that your muscle and your bones are strong enough to carry you, because as you're aging, you need to do more of these things, be more consistent and more aggressive with them to be able to have more time to be healthy. Because it's not just good enough for you to be alive for a long time, it's also good enough for you to be healthy for a long time, right? So, illusion of strength is that point where I believe that you have strength. So most times, young people, we start out with businesses that require our strength. Okay, and we have strength in abundance, so we start doing things that require strength. Then we forget that as we are aging, we are going to lose strength. This strength is not going to be there anymore, even though we still have life, even though we still have time, but this kind of strength will no longer be there. And because of that confusion and that forgetfulness, you don't ask yourself, when this strength is gone, when this strength is no more, how am I going to feed? How am I going to survive? How am I going to eat? How am I going to pay my bills? When I can't travel from one state to another to deliver a lecture, when I cannot talk from morning till night anymore, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of my loved ones? How am I going to take care of myself? Because the truth is, as you age, right? As you age, your expenses increase. So as your age goes up, your expenses go up as well. But the problem now is that as your age increases and your expenses go up, your strengths fall. So there's an inverse relationship between age and strength. There's an inverse relationship between income and strength. When you don't have as much strength anymore, you won't be able to make as much money to be able to take care of your increasing bills. So these three illusions, right, is why smart people die broke and broken. Because they are lost thinking that, time is just there, is infinite. Your time is not infinite. Time itself, as an entity, as a concept, is infinite. You have, it's just there. It's there. It's endless. But yours is not. If you're going to live for 100, that's a cap. If you are going to live for, let's even assume that you're going to live for 200. There's nobody in this room that's going to live for up to 200. But let's assume, and just be generous, that assume that you're going to live for 200. That's 200 years. Time is the measurement of years, is the measurement of life. So if you're going to live for 200 years and you have lived for 25, or let's assume you have lived for 20, you have 180 years more to go. Let's assume you are going to live for 80. Right? Your own time that was allocated to you by God, by nature, is 80, and you have done 30. What is left for you is 50. That's what's left. Right? Now the question is, now what's left is 50. And as you are aging, your strength is falling, even though your expenses are increasing. Because you have a lot more dependents, you have a lot more responsibility in society, you have a lot more people looking up to you, you have a lot more people asking for things, you have more bills to pay, right? And all of that. So these three illusions are things that confuse young people and smart people and put them in a position where they're not able to do what they're supposed to do when they can. So here's what I'm going to share with you, what you can do, right? So first thing is to understand these illusions and how they creep in on you as a person, right? Understand these illusions and how they creep in on you and avoid their deceptions. That's the first thing. So avoid the deceptions of this illusion. Know that your time is passing. Secondly, know that intelligence does not guarantee wealth. The fact that you're intelligent, you're a smart doctor, you're a smart lawyer, that does not mean you're going to be wealthy. If you don't do what is required of wealth, nature will not dash you wealth because you're intelligent. Right? The most intelligent people in life have never been the richest. Like, look at the scientists. Look at somebody like Tesla. Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was one of the best inventors of our time. But he died broke. Why? Because he was not interested in wealth. He was not interested in money. People who were interested in money were taking his inventions and protecting them in their own name and claiming ownership. While he was busy inventing, he was busy putting. No, that's not how it's done. That's not how it's done. You must be able to, take a portion of your intelligence and convert it to real wealth. Then last one is illusion of strength. Make sure that you understand that as you're aging, your strength will go down. It does not matter how many tons of stuff you can lift now. In the next few years, you won't be able to lift that much. It's just biology. It's not your fault, right? It's just biology. Now, what are you supposed to do? Right? What are you supposed to do to not fall into the effect of these illusions? You need to learn how to, number one, is that you need to learn how to use leverage. Leverage is getting more done with less, right? You need to learn how to use leverage. What's leverage? You get the thing that helps you to get more done, with less effort, with less time. So leverage could talk about other people's money, other people's effort, other people's intelligence, other people's time. So make sure that you're creating things that give you leverage. You're creating things that help you earn without your own effort. And that is where things like businesses come on board, right? Businesses, if you have a structured business, you don't have to work in the business for the business to make money. You employ people, you borrow people's intelligence, borrow people's effort, borrow people's time to be able to make money and share a portion of that money with the people in the form of salary, bonuses, and wages. Create a structured business. It will help you not to work for the rest of your life using your time, your strengths. The second thing is assets. Of course, business is an asset, right? But asset here, we're talking about something like real estate. Okay. Real estate is a leverage tool, very powerful leverage tool, right? You can do land banking, you can do rentals, you can do buy and hold, buy and sell, buy and flip, whatever. Just make sure you have portions of real estate because real estate appreciates, especially in the kind of economy we have, right? Real estate appreciates crazily. You could buy a land for 5 million and in the next 3, 4, 5 years, you're selling it for 20 something million. So get into real estate. And in case any of you here or any of you watching online is interested in real estate, you can send a message to the number on your screen so I can hook you up and help you secure proper, safe, profitable real estate deals in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, part of Nigeria. All right. So if you're looking for land banking or you're looking for buy and hold or looking for cash flow assets for Airbnb and all of that, we can help you make that happen for you. So send a message to the WhatsApp number on your screen. I'll be able to put you on board. And in case you haven't subscribed to this video, please subscribe so that more people can see it and share this video in your community so that more people can also learn. Right? So real estate is very important. Business of your own is very important. Number 3 is other people's business, right? Other people's business. Other people's business. Invest in other people's business. There are some of your friends who are building things that you like. Invest with them. Partner with them. Get a lawyer to draft a proper agreement. You partner with them and make some money with your friends. Okay, that way someone else is working on the business and you're making money. There are things you use that the owners are really doing well. Neighborhood businesses. There's a laundromat somewhere. You could partner with the guy. There's a salon where you go and you know that they are doing great stuff. You could partner with them by way of your skill and your money. Put your skill in there, put your money in there and support them to grow. And as they grow, you get a portion of that. Okay. Equity, right? Equity is important. Shares of publicly quoted companies, get some equity. You can get rewarded by way of dividends or you can get rewarded by way of capital appreciation. So get equity, right? That is very crucial. You can also do business financing. This is one of the things I love to do a lot. Business financing means that there are individuals and businesses that have collateral and they need cash, but they can't go to the bank. Of course, you know how interesting the banks are. So they can't go to the bank because of so many other things, but they have cash flow, right? So they can come to you and ask for financing. You give them a loan. This is not equity, this is a loan. So you give them a loan and they give you returns at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, at the end of the month, depending on what your agreement is. And you can be able to call back your capital at any point in time. Right? Business financing is very crucial, it's very good. So your money is now working for you. You have employed your money in someone else's business and your money is working for you. So that is something that works, right? What else could you also be looking at in terms of leverage so that you don't get to work till you die? Also look at insurance. Okay. Insurance is also a wealth protection and preservation tool. When you take an insurance, you can protect your life. You can take insurance on your health. You can take insurance on the things that matter to you. You can take insurance on your kids' education so that when your kids are about to go to school, you don't have to work to your bones to be able to pay their fees. You can actually pay their fees through an education insurance. Okay. You can insure your own life. You can do term insurance, maybe 10, 20 years term insurance. What that means is that if something happens to you, in that period of time, they pay money to your dependents. Okay, and if nothing happens to you, you can actually liquidate the contract sum. Okay, and use that to do other things. So insurance is very crucial. Then you can also put your money in money market instrument like fixed deposit. Okay, so now that you're commanding this kind of income as a young, tech bro, you're making a lot of money, you're working in a good company, you're getting bonuses and all of that. Don't just keep eating everything. You can put some money in fixed deposit. For example, if you're able to put, say, 100 million naira, okay, you're able to put 100 million naira in a fixed deposit, and it gives you, say, 15% per quarter, sorry, per annum, right? Because it's conservative, so it gives you 15% per annum. What it simply means is that your 100 million is returning about 15 million to you at the end of the year. So at the end of 12 months, it's returning 15 million to you, and you can use that 15 million per annum to do a lot of things, to pick so many of your bills, and you don't have to work till your bones spill off just to make money. So the question that those old people I saw who were still struggling and working extremely hard in their old age did not answer is, how am I going to earn when I'm old? And one of the mistakes they made was that when they were young, they were not taking their income serious. Some of them, the money they were making when they were young, they were just eating everything because they were caught up in the illusion of time. There's still time. I'll make another one tomorrow. I have the skill, right? There's also the illusion of skill. Okay? The illusion of skill makes you believe that this your skill will always be in demand. But look at AI now. AI has come, and so many people rendering so many skills redundant. So many people that used to earn doing certain kind of jobs previously can no longer earn with those jobs because AI can just do that for you in a few minutes. Illusion of skill has killed you. Because when you were making all of that money, you were eating up everything. You were not thinking about tomorrow because you believe that, maybe I have the skill. I will always make another one tomorrow. Someone else will come for the service. I am the best at this. So people are going to keep using my services. People are going to keep depending on my skill, which also ties back to time. Because the more, when you have a skill and you have to use your skill to deliver a solution, it's a function of time because it will take time for you to be able to do the job. So you have to spend time to earn. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to be paid. So illusion of skill ties to illusion of time, right? But if you begin to build leverage through these things that I've shared with you, insurance, business, real estate, other people's businesses, money market instruments, and all of that, you will begin to see that as you're aging, these things that you are building by the side are also maturing, right? They are maturing. So it means that with time, you can say no to a couple of things without losing income, because now the leverage you have created through all of these things are working in your favor, helping you to pay your bills, helping you to live life, helping you to live your dreams and enjoy the best things of life without having to kill yourself, right? So this is the first thing, leverage. Okay. The second thing that can help you is ambition. That's the second thing that can help you. Right? Lack of ambition is dangerous. Ambition. You need to have ambition. It is lack of ambition that will make you stay in one place for a long time. It's lack of ambition that will make you drive a car for so long. Not because you really like the car, it's just because of the fact that you cannot afford to change it. Right? You're not ambitious to want to drive the other car. You're not ambitious for something bigger. You're not ambitious for something more spacious. You feel like, man, there's no need. Maybe I have a car. It's functional. Why should I bother? But what happens is that life drains you and tricks you to the corner where you wake up someday and find out that everyone and everything has moved ahead without you. So have ambition, right? And of course, there is good and bad ambition. So there is the extreme ambition on this end, right? And there is the no ambition. Okay, this is the ambition line. The middle is always brilliant. The middle is where I have what I call godly ambition. Godly ambition is when you're grateful for what you have, but also desirous of more. That is what grateful ambition is. And that is how God is. The Bible tells us that only 2 human beings were created. How many human beings do we have now? 8 point something billion. That's it, just from 2 people. God could have just said, I just have 2 people. That's okay. Let 2 people be on the earth. No. Look at nature. A corn will produce as many corns as possible in its lifetime. A goat will produce as many other goats as possible in its lifetime. Every other form of nature is ambitious, but man is always the one that limits his ambition. If you can make $1 billion, why are you stopping at 10? Why are you stopping at 100? Why are you stopping at 50? Right? If you can make $1 million in your lifetime, why are you okay with 100,000, 500,000? Be the best you can be by being grateful for what you have, but also moving up and aspiring for more. So if you lack ambition, if you don't have ambition, you're definitely going to be stuck at a place. You're going to walk till you drop. But if you have ambition, you keep growing, you keep moving forward, you keep attracting good things to you, you keep attracting good people, and you will be at that place where low things would can no longer reach you. Low jobs, low opportunities, and all, they can no longer reach you because you're now up here. And that's a function of ambition. If you lack ambition, life will be cruel to you. Life will be very cruel to you. So the second thing you need to start fixing is your ambition level. Know that it's okay to dream for more. Know that it's okay to have more. Don't think it's bad. Of course, there's programming, right? There's programming, which I have a book, The Money Block, right? We have a lot of money blocks, which came from the programming we had growing up, where you feel like, oh, why should I have more when all these people are broke, when all these people are poor? Why should I enjoy life when all these people are suffering? Man, your job is not to save the world. It's only God that can save the world because He's the one that created the world. You didn't make the world. So why are you trying to save the world that you didn't create? Are you the one that created the problems in the world? No. You can only solve the one you can solve. But more importantly, you must solve your own problem first and not of your immediate environment. And as we all do that, the world will fix itself. But you trying to sacrifice your joy, your happiness, your life because you try to save the world is going to put you in a place where you won't be able to express yourself. You won't be able to live truly and completely because of the fact that you are, concerned and pitiful about that person's or the other person's, what the person has and doesn't have. Be focused on your own grind. Be grateful for what you have now while working hard, praying, hoping, and aspiring for more because that is God's desire for you. Right? So don't coast. Don't be in that place where your life is not comfortable. You're not coasting. You're not taking it easy. You don't go hard on money anymore. But they give you a job, you do it anyhow. After all, how much are they going to pay me? You're putting yourself in a place where you're going to fall to the no ambition zone, and that's very dangerous. Then the third and last thing that you need to do to save yourself and help yourself is to have goals. I'm not talking about setting goals today. I'll probably talk about that in another time, right? But you need to have goals. Right? Goals are targets that you have set for yourself that inspire you to move forward. That's what goals are, right? So set goals in all the wealth zones of your life. Set income goals, set career goals, set spiritual goals, set experience goals, set mental and physical fitness goals. Set goals that help you to move forward because you can only rise to the extent of your goals. You can only be ambitious to the extent of your goals. If you don't have goals that wake you up, things that inspire you and motivate you to keep moving forward, you're definitely not going to be able to, drive progress. So learn to set goals. It doesn't have to be grand, but just make it ambitious. And what does ambitious mean? It simply means that just make it audacious. Let your goals be audacious, right? Probably in another time, I will teach you elements of a good goal, but let your goal be audacious. What that means is that when it happens, it will change your life in a significant way, right? But at the same time, it is real enough to inspire action in you. That's what an audacious goal is. A goal that is huge enough to change your life. Some people don't set a goal that if it happens, their life will change. They just set moderate goals. That when they achieve the goals, their life still remains the same. That's not ambitious. That's not audacious, right? Audacious goal is that set a goal that when you get there, even if you don't even get the goal, the process of pursuing the goal alone transforms and changes your life. Right? Then if the goal eventually happens, your life will just be turned around. But at the same time, the goal is not so far reaching, it's not so unrealistic, it's not so absurd that it doesn't inspire action in you. So your goal should be able to scare you, but at the same time, inspire you to take action. That is an audacious goal. Right? So you need to have audacious goals, right? Audacious goals, they help you move daily. Audacious goals help you move daily, right? So create audacious goals, those things that will inspire you, those things that will change your life, those things that will change the life of your loved ones. If you're able to put this together, you'll find out that as you're aging, you'll be aging gracefully because the end is supposed to be better than the beginning. So now you're young, you're struggling through things. You shouldn't be struggling over all these things. You should be able to work when you want to work and not work because you have to work to eat. You have to work to earn, right? So this is the point I wanted to share with you in this mini workshop. I hope you found it useful. Those of you online, I hope it was useful to you. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel and share this video to your communities. Let people know more about what we're sharing here. Okay. And if you're interested in real estate, you want to invest in real estate in Nigeria, in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, you can send me a message and we can help you get that sorted. Also, if you're interested in learning about money and investment, then you're welcome to join the next cohort of School of Money and Investment. School of Money and Investment is where we teach you how to make optimized financial decisions so that you don't have to work for money for the rest of your life. So if you're interested in this, send a message to the WhatsApp on your screen or check the link on the description of the post and you're going to come on board. All right. So that's the size of this. Thank you for joining. And of course, now we can have our questions so we can move to the next thing.